Are you ready to embark on epic adventures without spending a dime? Today, we're diving into the exhilarating world of free open-world games on PC. From exploring vast landscapes to conquering new challenges, get ready to lose yourself in these virtual playgrounds. So grab your keyboard, fire up your mouse, and let's discover the best free open-world games PC gaming has to offer. For a free title, Conqueror's Blade certainly looks great. That's one way to pull gamers in, but the rest is dependent on a robust mixture of MMO elements, tactical action, and strategy. The open world is pretty large and offers multiple ways to achieve combat objectives. Players can use siege weapons to attack castles while commanding combat units in teams of 15. It bears the gritty fantasy feel of Skyrim, with extra emphasis on good old-fashioned medieval warfare. The response from players has been mostly positive across the board, suggesting that this is no one-trick pony. PALIA is a charming adventure and life simulation game set in a vibrant world full of magic and mystery. In it, players can explore vast landscapes, interact with a variety of engaging characters, and take part in relaxing activities such as fishing, gathering resources, and building their own home. With stunning graphics and an immersive soundtrack, PALIA offers a warm and inviting experience for fans of simulation games. Taking inspiration from the Monster Hunter series, Dark Souls, and World of Warcraft, comes the expansive world of Dauntless, where you, the Slayer, must hunt down behemoths that threaten humanity. Dauntless delivers a wealth of content intertwined with a free-to-play model that's not after your money, meaning you can slay some utter monstrosities in craft gear that delivers both looks and perks. The game even gives you the choice to hunt alone or with up to 4 players to bring down the more challenging beasts. If this calls to your inner savagery, go slay some behemoths and wear them as proof to boast to your friends. Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis is an extension/sequel to the original Phantasy Star Online 2 game that is popular in Japan. This time the game will open things up to players and allows 32 people to play together in a single run. That means you'll have a lot of help as you face enemies and try to save the universe. The combat system has been improved as well. There are tweaks to make it easier to learn, but also new techniques for you to use as you fight enemies. With a deep story and lots of places to explore, it'll be easy to get lost in what you can do. Stay Out is a free-to-play online MMO survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world. Players must navigate through dangerous zones filled with mutants, anomalies, and other hazards while scavenging for resources, crafting gear, and completing missions. The game features a vast open world, realistic survival mechanics, and a strong emphasis on exploration and player interaction. With its challenging gameplay and immersive atmosphere, Stay Out offers a thrilling experience for fans of survival games. Defiance is a third-person shooter MMO set in a post-apocalyptic world following a catastrophic event known as the Pale Wars. The game combines elements of third-person shooter gameplay with an open-world environment, allowing players to explore the remains of San Francisco and the surrounding areas. Players can choose from different alien races and human factions, each with its own unique abilities and playstyles. Defiance features a variety of missions, events, and dynamic encounters that players can tackle solo or cooperatively with others. The game also includes competitive multiplayer modes for players looking for a more competitive experience. Something that many multiplayer games can't do is have the effects of player actions affect the overall setting. EVE Online does that and has done it for 20 years. It's the largest space MMO out there, and the team is proud of that. There are 7,000 different solar systems to explore, fight in, mine for resources, and so on. You get to choose your path through this massive universe, and what you do alongside other players will affect everything around you. Topple empires, build new factions, sway the economy in one direction or another, it's all there for you to do. If you like Genshin Impact, Tower of Fantasy is similar, with some new twists. The year is 2316. Earth is falling apart, so it's up to you to travel to an alien planet and establish a human colony. The world is completely open for you to explore. You can follow the main quest, or venture off to discover the planet's many secrets. The combat features hack-and-slash mechanics that let you rack up powerful combos quickly. Each weapon has an elemental ability that's either strong or weak against enemies, similar to Pokemon's type advantages. If you like fantasy adventures, this one is worth a shot. Genshin Impact was a massive success right out of the gate, and miHoYo has done a good job of maintaining the game's momentum. Set in the beautiful world of Teyvat, the action RPG allows players to build teams of 4 characters that they can swap in battle, and the campaign's harder challenges require a balanced party filled with fighters who complement each other. Combat is generally the main focus, but the game encourages exploration as well. Genshin Impact launched with a reasonably large open world, and subsequent updates introduced new regions to expand the map. Although the endgame can be frustrating for non-paying users, the main story is quite accessible by free-to-play standards, provided someone tolerates Genshin's gacha system. Want a twist on the Battle Royale formula? Allow us to present Ring of Elysium. In this title, you and 59 other players will be put into an area and asked to survive. The twist is that you're not exactly trying to survive each other. Instead, you're on the clock and have to get out of the area to avoid a nuclear holocaust. Pick your class and use a variety of weapons and abilities to try and outlast your opponents while you race to get to the chopper. The game boasts multiple maps, realistic graphics, and gameplay that'll have you coming back for more. Zombie horror fans have yet another game to sate their gore-soaked appetites, and this one is far more frightening and realistic than the quirky Unturned. This online open-world adventure game is dark, gloomy, and frightening from start to finish, and it never lets up. Online players can team up, trade with each other, or go solo as they attempt to stay alive and one step ahead of the undead. Skyrim fans will appreciate the open-world approach, while Resident Evil fans will adore the unmitigated horror aspects that serve up scares aplenty. This absolutely free RPG lets players fully immerse themselves in the universe of the Star Wars franchise. What's interesting about Star Wars, The Old Republic, is that besides having 8 different classes to choose from and great customization options, the game has a different storyline for each of them. This tailors a unique narrative experience depending on how players play the game. There are also various PvE and PvP activities sprawled across more than 20 different planets across the galaxy far, far away, making for an impressive amount of content for even free-to-play players. XERA Survival is a multiplayer, open-world, PvPvE survival game developed by Spotted Kiwi Interactive. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, players must scavenge for resources, craft weapons and gear, and battle against other players and hostile AI enemies to survive. The game features a vast open world with diverse environments, including forests, deserts, and urban areas, each with its own challenges and dangers. Players can team up with friends to form factions, build bases, and engage in large-scale battles against other factions for control of territory and resources. Walking Zombie 2 is a first-person shooter game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Players take on the role of a survivor trying to navigate through the zombie-infested landscapes while completing various missions and objectives. The game features a wide range of weapons, including firearms, melee weapons, and explosives, which players can use to fend off the undead hordes. Players can also explore the open world, scavenge for resources, and interact with other survivors. Launching in 2014 and still going strong, Unturned has enjoyed a long and healthy life. Largely revolving around survival, the game has a few notable things that have helped heighten its popularity. For one, most modern PCs should be able to run Unturned since it really does not require powerful specs. Obviously, its free price tag does not hurt, especially since the game can generally be enjoyed without requiring monetary investment. The community is also active and fairly welcoming, and this extends to the modding scene. Although not much of a looker compared to plenty of modern open-world games, Unturned's voxel art style actually sets it apart from most of the genre's survival offerings since they tend to lean into realistic visuals. Sure, Minecraft is an exception, but Unturned is closer in gameplay and tone to something like DayZ. Will to Live Online is a multiplayer online role-playing game set in a post-apocalyptic world where players must survive and explore the harsh wilderness. The game features a large open world filled with dangerous mutants, anomalies, and other players. Players can choose from several different factions, each with its own goals and quests. They can also customize their characters with a variety of weapons, armor, and gear to help them survive in the unforgiving world. Undefeated is a superhero action game developed by 3 students from the University of Applied Sciences in Berlin. In the game, players control a superhero with incredible abilities and powers as they protect the city from various threats and villains. The game features a free-roaming open-world environment where players can fly around, run at super speeds, and use a range of powerful attacks to defeat enemies. The gameplay is fast-paced and action-packed, with a focus on fluid movement and dynamic combat. Trove is an excellent action MMO to play with friends. The game combines building and crafting mechanics with dungeon crawling. The world is massive, with many dungeons to explore. You can play this game for hours and never get bored. The level of freedom you get is staggering. You can explore the world, find new gear, and take on challenging boss fights. Or you can take a break to build a house and do some crafting. Want to make a sword made out of bacon? You can! If you can imagine it, you can probably create it. Minecraft may have popularized the pixel open-world adventure game, but it's not the only kid on the block. Creativerse is available on Steam with a free base game format and the option to buy into extra content as the player progresses throughout the game. Creativerse is an online-only open-world adventure/building title that can be played solo or with friends. It includes playable quests, seasonal events, a deeper set of building functions designed to differentiate itself from its competitors, namely Minecraft. Featuring an origin story that is almost more interesting than the release itself, Muck is an addictive roguelike survival game that does the basics extremely well. Players spawn into a sandbox and simply have to survive, which involves crafting, eating, fighting monsters, working with allies, or engaging in PvP. All these elements are fairly conventional for both the sandbox and survival genres, but Muck combines them in a way that is both accessible and fairly challenging. While the core experience does not change much, Muck has a few different game modes that slightly alter its rhythm. For instance, if players want to have a more leisurely playthrough, they can pick creative mode so they won't have to constantly fear for their lives. Although not overly packed with sights to see, the island/maps are pretty in their own stylish way. The switch for Nordic-themed fantasy adventure to first-person sci-fi RPG might be a little jarring, but gamers who are fans of the genre tend to be fans of the other as well. Destiny 2 is still a great game to play, even if it does have a few weak spots in its armor. It's leaps and bounds beyond the divisive original release and packed with adventure, cool weapons, and of course, a collection of powerful monsters to battle. The world evolves dynamically, and there's plenty to see and do. The base game is totally free and more than capable of providing hours of gameplay, but if gamers wish to go further, developer Bungie has provided a number of expansion packs and DLC to pick and choose from. At this point, Planetside 2 is more than a decade old and in the twilight of its life. The people still playing are generally those who have been around for years, and newcomers might be a tad hesitant to jump into a PvP world filled with grizzled vets. Servers can be quiet for long stretches as well, although they do pop off fairly regularly. For the uninitiated, Planetside 2 drops players in a continuous world defined by a forever war pitting three factions against each other, although players can unlock a fourth option as well. Large-scale combat is the name of the game, and battles have long-reaching consequences as armies engage in a tug-of-war to expand their faction's influence across the land. Even though its age shows, Planetside 2 offers a unique experience that no other free open-world game fully replicates. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.